Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Skippy and welcome to another video. Okay, so those of you that have been with my channel a while will have seen that I successfully built a Guillow's S.E.5A, converted it with the electrics, 4-channel, but I didn't really have any joy flying it. I think it's because it's too heavy. The electrics were too heavy for the model. It was tail heavy. Similar standard to those that I used on my other kits, but for some reason, I think perhaps because of the nose, the distance between the nose and the centre of gravity, it just never really flew successfully. So a lot of you quite rightly said it's the weight of electrics, use something smaller. So what I'm thinking of trying to do, and I'll do this video, whether I release it or not, you'll find out obviously if you're watching it, then I did decide to release it. But I'm going to put in some small electrics that I've got on some of the UMX models, just to see if that works. They should work with it. It depends how heavy it is. So what I'm going to do is weigh the model. You can see it behind me here. It's got all the electrics in it. I'll take those out. So that'll be a challenge because I don't really want to completely demolish the airplane. It took me a long time to get it so that it could sustain a crash or even a takeoff. So I'm going to try and take the current electronics out, and I'm going to work out how I can install smaller microelectronics, and then hope that that will fly. So this next series of videos, or perhaps just this one single video, will be the conversion of the S.E.5A as it was to small electronics, and hopefully it will then eventually get to fly. The biggest issue I had with it was the battery was too big really and quite heavy at 70 grams, 65, 70 grams. Trying to fit it in to the fuselage with the upper wing was always a fiddle. And then it seemed to shift back once it got airborne. As it took off, the battery shifted because I hadn't wedged it in enough. That then upset the centre of gravity. The battery hatch came off for whatever reason, even though I thought I'd nailed that and sorted it all out. Battery pops out, airplane crashes. Again, if you want to see those, watch those earlier videos of SE5. So I'm going to try and take the electrics out as they are now, and I'm going to work out how I can install the small electrics that you find in the E-flite UMX models. That's the plan anyway. And I think the motor I'll use is the BL180. We'll see. Okay, so the issue I had with the SE5A was it was just too heavy. It was too tail heavy. The battery was too big to fit into the slot. I lost the hatch a couple of times. It did fly-ish, never brilliantly. And a lot of you did say it's tail heavy, you should do something about it. Obviously, you can see where I put holes in it. So what I thought I'll do is try and put some small electronics, a 2S battery, and perhaps the linear push rods. When I started looking at how much they were, it's not a cheap thing to buy. And then I thought, well, what about buying an old model that I'm not really going to fly and take the electrics out? So I managed to find this Yak 54 on eBay. The total price for it undelivered was cheaper than buying the motor and the 4 servos that come in it. They all work. I have tried it. As you can see, this model is a bit battered and bruised, been well used. I'm not going to fly it. So what I'm going to do is take the electrics out of this and see if I can put them into this, the SE5, and hope that they're going to work. Well, it's not often that I admit defeat, but I think this SE5A has proven a little bit challenging. I've seen the photos of me installing the electrics. I can stop the camera from moving. I've got the motor in there, but with the top wing on, I don't want to take it off, but with the top wing on, trying to get the servos in there, trying to sort the push rods for the aileron and elevator are proving tricky. And I think it's time to call it quits. The other reason that I've had a bit of a delay is since Christmas, we've no longer flying at our flying sites. We've currently lost the ability to fly there. So I don't have any O2 fly even when I've got the models. not somewhere safe and legal anyway. So that took a bit of a hit on my motivation, for which I apologise. However, the good news is today I reached 900 subscribers, which is amazing. So to all of you who've stuck with me for a long time, and those of you that are new to my channel, that's amazing. Thank you very much. So to be honest, that's given me a real confidence boost again. So I thought, right, I need to do another build, give up on the S.E.5A. What am I going to do? So I want to do a World War I aeroplane. I love the S.E.5A DR1. So I'm going to build this, the Guillow's S.E.5A DR1. A few people have done it before. I've not done it before. Hopefully with the small electrics, I'll be able to install those as I build from scratch, which should be a lot easier than trying to install them into the SE5. I've got a much larger version of this aeroplane. I'll show you a few pictures. This is a flare kit. I've had it for a long time now. It flies really nicely, or when I get to fly it. So it'd be really good to have a smaller version of this. So hopefully I will build that. It will fly. And please join me on the journey as I crack on with a new series of videos from today. Thank you very much for watching.